Attraction is not just about money and looks. There's a secret emotional switch inside of every girl's mind that you need to flip in order to get her to be attracted to you. And there's a way to do it very consistently. So instead of relying on luck and just chancing into flipping the switch for a girl that you're talking to that, oh boy, I hope she likes me, I actually made a very proven method called the brain switch method that will help you flip that emotional switch every single time using proven attraction triggers to spike emotions in the girl. I used to be a guy that really struggled with sparking attraction in girls. Girls didn't take me seriously. I literally couldn't talk to girls without shaking. And after 10 plus years of approaching very consistently, going from this guy who was too shy to talk to girls without shaking, to this guy who didn't really know how to hold frame in a relationship, to now a guy that posts videos online for hundreds of thousands of guys to see, of me actually approaching girls in real life and getting real results, I feel like I can confidently talk about this. So trigger number one of the brain switch method is taking risks in the interaction. There are a couple ways that you can do this. First, you can state your opinion without apologizing or hedging. A lot of guys will have opinions on things, but they state them in such this soft, like pussified way. So for example, if a girl says she likes sushi and you don't like sushi, you're too scared to say, I fucking hate sushi. So you say, oh yeah, I'm not really that big of a fan of sushi. I don't really know. I've had it a couple times. Instead of just saying what you fucking mean by saying, yeah, I fucking hate sushi. I cannot stand that shit. I don't know how you eat it. Being able to say that and hold eye contact and be okay with stating your opinion and not worrying about, oh my God, if my opinions on sushi, my opinions on raw fish make her walk away, what am I going to do? It shows a lot more confidence in yourself. And that triggers the emotional switch inside of her brain to say, okay, I should take this guy seriously because he's actually confident and actually has opinions. He's not going to bullshit me just to get me to like him. Another way to use this risk-taking emotional trigger is by making jokes that might offend her. So one really common thing is when I'm talking about what I do for work with women, a lot of them will be like, oh, is that like weird kind of red pill shit? And I'll make the joke, yeah, no, I actually hate women. And I'll say it, I'll be smiling, I'll say it in a sarcastic way, but I'm holding eye contact the whole fucking time. I'm not worried about, oh my God, is she going to think I'm actually a misogynistic piece of shit? I just make the fucking joke. And if she's like, wait, seriously? Like, no, I'm fucking with you, right? And I can confidently do that, and I'm willing to take risks and say things that allow her to walk away. So before I get into the other two emotional triggers for this video, I need you guys to understand why most guys actually fail at this. Most of you, when you approach or when you talk to a girl that you really like, you fall back into logic because that's your safe place. You're too reactive and you're too focused on her and not your own good time. You have to focus when you talk to women, and this completely blew my mind when I first learned it, but there's this law of emotional mirroring. Women will feel exactly how you feel. And so if you're focused more on her and her emotional state, you're now in a feminine reactive mode, and that makes you much less attractive, and it makes it impossible to trigger that emotional switch and actually make that brain switch for her so she can start thinking about you as an option. I promise you guys, if you actually feel alive and feel like you're having fun in the interaction, then she is going to feel that too. And you can even take personal experience from this. I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time you actually met somebody that you felt like is truly feeling alive, living his life, having fun when he's going out and talking to people, right? It's pretty rare you meet people that are genuinely just focused on making sure he's having a good time and everyone else is having a good time around him. This guy is usually the life of the party, not always, but he's usually the life of the party, and people want to be around him. People invite him to stuff because they want him to be there to help everyone else have fun. I have a friend that's like this named Chris. Chris is the shit, dude. He's like always having a good time. He's always stating his opinion, and he just doesn't give a fuck. And these guys are so good to have around because they're just focused on having fun, and they want other people to have fun from a very genuine place as well. And if you have this vibe going into the interaction, then she's going to be so much more attracted, and she's going to want to stick around. Women don't want to go through their boring normal day just to get interrupted by another guy going through his boring normal day and not having any fun with his interactions. That's just not what it is. Yeah, sure, if you're like a high value guy, whatever, it can be good sometimes and you can get some dates through just having logical, normal, boring conversation that's kind of polite and nice. But if you're an average guy that doesn't have, a ton of massive advantages like super good looks, or, you have access to a lot of resources like money and taking her to nice places, then it's going to be pretty tough to trigger that emotional response if you're from this logical place. Women will always feel how you feel. I cannot say it enough. Women will feel how you feel. She will feel if you're having fun. She will feel if you have an agenda. She will feel if you're worried about her opinion of you. And any of these things will basically turn off this brain switch for her for good. You're in the friend zone, you're fucked, and you're done. And you're going to have to do a lot of work to get out of that by spiking even more emotions. And that might even make you lose the girl because you're too heavy on the emotional spikes. But it's the only way you can save it. So to explain this brain switch method in more detail, what you need to understand is that women feel attraction when they feel emotions, not when they feel good emotions, not when they feel bad emotions, but when they feel a wide variety of emotion. So when you go into an interaction with a girl, you need to understand that emotions in general are good, which I know is like uncomfortable for a lot of guys. It's very hard. I was really emotionally stunted kind of growing up, and I didn't really know how to talk about how I feel about stuff. And I still even get a little weird talking more about like my feelings and things like that. But when you can get comfortable talking about how things make you feel, whether it's positive or like, oh my God, I fucking hate that. When you can be more emotionally expressive, not emotionally reactive, but emotionally expressive, that unlocks that brain switch for her to flip that. And now it's possible for her to see you as an option. So from now on, when you talk to a girl, what I want you to do is I want you to think, how can I trigger emotions in general with this girl? Not just how can I trigger good emotions. Oh man, that was a really good conversation. Doesn't matter if it was good. I would argue if it's positive the whole time and there's no takeaway or emotional strip that happens there, you don't take away some validation or make her kind of question things. If she's not walking away from the conversation like, what the fuck was that? Then it's a lot less likely to lead to a date. If she walks away going, oh, that was nice, that was pleasant, that was fun, it's going to be okay and you'll get some dates from that. But in general, if you have a wider variety of emotions, which I'm going to show you how to do in the rest of the video, you will have a lot more solid phone numbers and a lot more solid results that will actually lead to a date with the girl, which is ultimately like, that's what we want. We want to have options so we can pick the girl that we actually want in our life. So emotional trigger number 2, teasing and playful banter. I'm going to give you some very practical examples that you can literally steal. These are directly from my coaching programs. I'm not hiding anything in this video. I want to give you the best of the best sauce so that you know that this shit works and that honestly, probably you want to pay me, right? Like if I can help you implement these things over YouTube, then chances are if we work together in person or we work together online, that's actually going to help you a whole lot more because you'll have accountability, you'll have actual coaching. So emotional trigger number 2 is playful banter and teasing. I'm going to give you 2 examples of what that looks like that you can actually steal. I'm going to give you a mindset that you can implement into your everyday life so you can start to actually learn this stuff. Line number 1 is, this is why it wouldn't work between us. So go back to the sushi example before. She likes sushi. You don't like sushi. See, this is why it wouldn't work between us. You like raw fish too much. I can't do it. I don't know about this. You're going to have to really make up for that. Being able to tease her and push her away in a confident way, holding eye contact, right? Holding eye contact is very fucking important, okay? Being able to hold eye contact after you tease her, after you take this risk, not waiting for a reaction like, what are you going to say? And like acting nervous, but saying it, holding your ground, remaining calm. See, this is why it wouldn't work between us. And holding the eye contact, you're going to feel the tension, but you want to hold it because it shows that you're actually confident and you're not afraid she's going to walk away. This eliminates all fear of loss, which is one of the most unattractive behaviors. It's going to turn off that brain switch for her. The second line is, you're cute, but I'm just not sure about you yet. When you say this, you want to remember, hold eye contact. When you say this, it shows you're not afraid to show some intent, but you're also not afraid of her walking away because you're disqualifying her a bit. And you can also see how it creates a bit of an up and down, right? A bit of a push and pull. Positive emotion, you're cute, but, and it takes it away. And now she's like, oh, he's not sure about me. Now you have to deliver this in an authentic way. It can't be like, you're cute, but I'm not sure about you. I'm so fucking sick with my line. It's like, that's a little weird, right? It's going to come off like you want a reaction. And that's just going to be unattractive. So one mindset that I really like for these kinds of teases is a cocky plus funny mindset. All right. So first of all, acting overly cocky for me and for a lot of my clients, it's actually really fun, especially if you're the type of guy that's always really nice and it's hard for you to be cocky. It's like you're putting on an alter ego and you're just like having fun with it, which ultimately will trigger that law of emotional mirroring. She can tell that you're having fun by being cocky in the interaction and acting as if she's attracted to you and assuming a lot of attraction. So if you act like she's in love with you, first, it's going to be fun, right? And so it's going to make it so much easier for you to trigger that emotional mirroring law. But also, when you trigger that fun within yourself and you're actually having fun with the interaction, it doesn't come off douchey. It doesn't come off super try hard and like you're trying to qualify to her, which is ultimately the unattractive part of being cocky. If you're cocky from a place of being fun, then that's very powerful. So I'll give you an example of this cocky, funny attitude in emotional trigger number 3. Emotional trigger number 3 is to stay unreactive when there's pressure or when she shit tests you. Let's say you say something over the top and cocky, like, yeah, so when we get married, we're gonna have like some crazy kids. And she's like, oh, you're pretty cocky, huh? Right? That's like a very common shit test if you go in with this cocky, funny attitude. The way I would probably handle that by remaining unreactive, and I say this a lot, is, yeah, no, I'm like super full of myself. And I just stop. And I let there be silence, and I sit in attention. And immediately you'll see her get giggly, start, oh my God, she gets a little nervous. That is what attraction looks like. It doesn't look like her smiling and having a great time the whole time. It looks like her having a nervous response, a positive nervous response, but still a nervous response, and holding that tension. I'd be lying to you if I told you that this is going to be something that overnight fixes everything and you're never going to get stuck in the friend zone again. But if you consistently practice this, you will start to see this emotional brain switch flip inside the girl. Girls will start getting bubbly, nervous talking to you. They'll start giggling and start treating you in this very soft, feminine way. And that's how you know it's working. So if you implement this daily, women will respond differently to you. Now, if you want to skip all the trial and error and get real life examples from me, get live coaching in the field on a call. If you want to get one-on-one coaching every single week with me, there's a link in the description or the pinned comment on this video, and you can apply to work inside my Attraction Accelerator system. This is not for everybody, but I do have offers for everybody and every budget, whether it's free content, my community group, or one-on-one personal coaching, or even like my highest ticket premium coaching where I do in-person coaching here in Nashville, Tennessee. All right. So click the links below if you want more help from me. If not, enjoy the videos, comment below, let me know what you want to see in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.